Hi YouTube families, it's Diana with Homeschoolific, and I thought I'd bring you guys on my journey of prepping for the holidays for Thanksgiving. We are hosting this year, and I am doing prep work, and I'm doing more cooking than normal. But also I've been in the middle of fall cleaning and a lot of other things. So being that we're off of school this week, I will be doing a lot of prep work and getting ready for Thanksgiving Day. So in preparation of that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up from breakfast because my kitchen's a bit of a mess. You guys are going to see some messy parts of my house. If you haven't heard this before, I will let you know we are messy people and we do struggle a bit, but we clean up every day. So it's not disgusting, but it is, going to be a thing. So just join me today as I'm going over what I'm doing and preparing for the week. And hopefully I'll get these videos up every day and you can prep for the Thanksgiving Day holiday with me. Enjoy. So something that I prefer to do is fuel up. So I eat. However, I always want a machine going on. So I'm going to have my wash machine going. We're on solar, so I run my wash machine usually in the morning. But my husband had laundry in the wash machine at night. I always set my washer at night, the night before, and then let it go in the morning once the sun is shining. But he had his clothes in, so I'm doing it this morning. And it's almost late morning at this point because I decided to take it slow. So I'll get this load in, let it start going, and then I'm gonna go get myself some food to eat. All right, now it's time to make myself some grub. And honestly, it should probably be breakfast. I go between my shake or whatever we have for breakfast, and I think I have already eaten at this point, but I'm making myself a salad. I have been working on losing weight. I am still trying to lose more weight. It is not easy, but I'm trying. So I'm gonna sit down and have my beautiful salad and chicken. But then of course I get a call from my husband, and since we are self-employed, he needs me to do some work for him. So I got to get an invoice out, so I do that, and that's what I'm doing. Now I'm back in the kitchen. It actually took a lot longer to get that work done, but it is what it is. So now I've got to take some food and thaw it. I didn't thaw my turkey like I was supposed to, so I'm putting it in some cold water so that it can start the thawing process and get ahead of it. But I'm going to put it in the fridge later, and then I'm taking the ham and I'm taking one ham and putting it in the freezer, and another ham I'm putting it in I'm thawing out because I want the smaller one for Thanksgiving and the larger one for Christmas. It's a whole thing, you know what I mean. We all have our ways, but there was some good deals for the holidays, so we did jump on some additional food, and just in case the deals are not as good for Christmas, it's what you do. Okay, so now I'm getting more cleaning done because I'm going to take this turkey and I'm going to take the ham all the way clear to the other side. You guys will get to see the other side, or at least part of it soon. I'm going to walk you guys down my long hallways. It's going to look creepy, I think. I don't know. So my house currently does not have a walk-in pantry. So we turned one of our china cabinets into basically a pantry for us. It served as a better use than storing things that just look pretty. And so I use that. Eventually at some point we'll make a walk-in pantry. There's a lot of work that we want to do. My kitchens are a bit dated or there's some issues, but we're working with what we have for right now. And so I store things in here. I take things out. The way I do things is going to look a little crazy to you guys because I like to have something going, like running, while I'm cleaning other things. So right now I am going to start my gluten-free bread. Now, this is the first time I've tried this recipe. I like to weigh things out as much as possible versus using measurements. I find it just easy and almost a little fun to try to get that correct. So I'm getting that going. That's going to be kneading by the machine while I'm continuing cleaning and prepping things. I know it sounds crazy. My husband was losing his mind, like, why are you recording and people are going to see our mess? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but this is my reality and this is how I actually work. So yeah, they're going to see the mess, but I want to be real. I want to be as transparent as I possibly can. You guys already have YouTubers that have perfect kitchens and do things in a perfect order. That's kind of not my way. This is really how I operate. The only thing is I've been really working on not being so messy when I cook so that I'm not depressed once I'm done. So another thing, I really like functionality. I want things cute and functional, but I'm going to pick functional first. Hence the raggedy orange clip. It is not cute, but I have tried other things to keep that towel up where my family does not tear it down or put it in some stupid spot, and I have not found that secret thing yet, guys. So I use the ugly orange clip, and you'll see that as a common theme in my house. Again, it's functionality over cuteness, but I like both as much as possible. The beloved Berkey, where would I be without my Berkey? We have trash water in our area. I have never experienced such terrible water as we have here, and I am not on well water. Unfortunately, our house was once on well water, but the previous owners took it away. I guess maybe the well ran dry. I have no idea. Anyways, I'm making bread right now for the family, regular bread. The gluten-free bread is for me because after so much gluten over a couple of times over a little while, I have reactions. I don't know why. It's just what happens. So I'm going to make gluten bread, regular bread, and it's a whole wheat bread. And you will see me mix that dough for a crazy amount. There's my fourth son. Isn't he precious? He makes his mama do his hair. But it's smoothie time, so I'm going to prep my smoothie. I'm going to also take a bite of his orange chicken because I'm a mom and I get to do that. That's my right. I'm working all day. I get to confiscate some orange chicken while I make my smoothie. So I'm prepping my smoothie just so that it can kind of soften while I continue to do things. I'm not joking, guys. I try to have multiple projects happening while I am doing other things. Now we're going to take the Green Mile down my very long hallway to the other side because I'm choosing to bake on the other side. I have two kitchens. And this side, I like to bake when the sun is shining, and like I said, we're on solar because I don't have to use propane, and we have propane in my main kitchen, and this secondary kitchen has electric. Also, it has my freezer, my other fridge over here, and my deep freezer is over where you see that window in that room there. That's a sunroom we use for our dogs, and so I have that over there. Back over to the kitchen. I get my footsteps in for sure, guys. So back to this kitchen. I've gotten food out to thaw to make for dinner, and so I've got that going. So now let's backtrack. I got food thawing for dinner. I got my turkey thawing so it can get in the refrigerator with a head start. I've got the bread going, and I've got my shake softening so that I can make my shake. And also, don't forget, my laundry is going. So I have a lot going on at the same time. This is what works for me. This is how my brain works, and I like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my shake so that I can have my break in a moment. I know a lot of you are probably wondering why my bread machine, my mixer has been running for my bread for so long. But I find that the results are just so much better if I go as long as possible. Not as possible, but I go longer than what's recommended. I also don't add all the flour in. I'll explain that later. Right now, I am adding all my goodies to my shake. So I put in my vegan powder, I put in MCT oil, I put in ashwagandha, I put in collagen and dates for sweetening, and then I poured it into this beautiful shake. It's so yummy. I love it. I usually drink it first thing in the morning, but as it's been getting colder, it's a little hard for me to start my day off with it. So I'm going to wrap up this bread, and now I'm going to add in the rest of the flour, but I have to divide it because it's just too much. And I know that sounds crazy, but this makes enough bread for my family for the week. So I go ahead and like do it all at one time, but I divide it so I don't kill my KitchenAid. I'm sure a lot of you are going to tell me that I need a different machine. Sure will once that burns out, but I'm not going to buy a machine just to buy it. Like I said, I'm using what I got, people. And so anyways, I'm doing half of the batch now here. I'll let that mix in, then I'll put the other half in, and then I'll knead it all together. And while that's going, I'm going to take my break. I'm getting on TikTok. I actually did my first TikTok stitch sitting there. It was hilarious. Don't ever watch my TikToks. Y'all will not respect me. It's insane. But I have a good time just sitting there and relaxing. And then I'm back into the kitchen. I'm also cold now. I get cold and hot a lot because when I hold still, I'm freezing. But then once I'm moving, I'm okay. So you'll see me taking my sweater on and off. Also, bonus point, if you guys can put in the comment section below what's my favorite color. I think you can probably tell if you're paying attention. All right, so now I'm taking my bread out. You'll see like how stretchy it is. I think it does a really good job. I love this recipe. You know, I just realized, guys, I hope my bread comes out fine because I did forget something. I forgot my honey. Oh my gosh, I just realized it. Oh well, I was wondering why it didn't get as fluffy as it normally does, and now I know why. But they'll eat it and they'll just add jelly. It's what it is. So now I'm going to oil my bowl and get this dough nice and oiled on the outside. I've been making this recipe for about 12, 13 years. I don't know. It's one of our favorite for whole wheat bread, and it's a good sandwich bread. I have my wet tea towel. I'm covering the bowl, and I'm going to set this over on the stove. And that way it can rise there. It's going to be a warm place. Even though the stove isn't on, it's warmer. Now, this is my gluten-free bread. I am ready to stick that one in the oven. However, it did stick to the plastic wrap. I was trying to fix it, but it's a sticky dough, so I'm dealing with it. Whatever. Back to the other side, down the long hallway, so that I can put this one in this oven. Again, I'm doing electric because I'm trying to save on the propane because we're on solar and the electricity is free while I'm baking, especially right now where we're really not using the heater or the air conditioner. So it's a good fix. So I got that in there, set my timer, back to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to stop here to do a little cleanup now because I've made myself a nice glorious mess as it is my custom. I will hydrate and clean up. I've got to clean my mixer. I've got to wipe down all the flour places and put things back. Now, a lot of you will say that my kitchen is a good size. I find it to be small. We've been a large family for a long time and we've always had very big kitchens. And this is a small kitchen for me, so I have to keep these spaces clean so that I can reuse them. So I give this girl a good scrubbing. I have had this beast for a long time. I love my KitchenAid mixer and I use it often, probably 2-3 times a week. And so I make sure she gets a good cleaning because Mama don't like to be contaminating anything. I know I probably freaked a few of you out by using rubbing alcohol as a disinfectant, but that's what I prefer. So now it's time to make the chicken stock because I'm going to need that for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to start off by, so this is an Instapot type thing. It's not an Instapot, but you know, it kind of has an Instapot vibe. And what it will do is something called Bake Crisp. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my chicken carcass in there and I'm putting on Bake Crisp. Now I'm beating things while I'm watching Little House on the Prairie. So those are my pecans for my sweet potato casserole. So I'm beating them. And now it's time for me to put in my veggies, and with the chicken carcass that I have been storing in 100 different bags. Why don't I have just one bag? I don't know, guys. This is how my brain works. I don't think I'm ADHD, but it's stuff like this that makes me sure that I might be. Anyway, I digress. So all the bags, the different bags, not filled, of veggies going into the chicken stock. and I'm going to put it on for 12 hours and let it simmer. And oh my goodness, when we woke up this morning, it smelled amazing. Went to the other side of the house, grabbed the bread, the gluten-free bread, and here it is in all its glory. It came out superb. I will be using this recipe over and over. If you didn't see, I did use King Arthur's gluten-free recipe. At some point, I want to get to a whole grain one, but for right now, Mama is happy. Back to the Berkey for water for the vegetables so that I can get all that water in. And it takes a few times. It's a little annoying not using the sink, but like I said, we don't want to use the tap water around these parts. It is what it is. Now it's time to get some dinner ready. Also, get that turkey in the fridge because it's ready. So this turkey will go into the fridge and I'll inject it. Now my husband comes in and reminds me that I didn't do the bed. I didn't make the bed. He usually makes it, but I was the last one out of bed, so we decided we'll do it together. Now he's got to be special when he does this, and I usually don't like making the bed with him because he is completely type A and it has to be done a certain way, and I'm just not here for that. But we just make it up enough to just lay in. It didn't get prettied. So now I'm back in the kitchen, and guess what? I'm scrubbing cabinets. And I'm going to point this out to all of you who love white kitchens. Now I don't prefer them, but it works better for my galley kitchen because it's more on the narrow side. Also with those stupid low ceilings, I don't know whose great idea that was, but I'm hoping at some point we can raise it. But again, I'm working with what I got. So I get to scrub these cabinets. Also, I often remove paint because whoever painted them didn't do it right. Now I'm going to wash dishes. In the meantime, my son came in the kitchen, unloaded, reloaded the dishwasher. So I don't have a ton of dishes to wash. He also didn't load the dishwasher correctly. He will feel my wrath later, but right now I'm there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick some of these dishes that I need to in the dishwasher. And I'm going to close out this kitchen now because I am tired and I have done a lot. So let's recap here. I have washed laundry. I have made bread. I'm putting the last bread, the gluten bread, into the oven right now. I let them rise over on the stove for a little bit longer. So that's going while I'm wrapping up the kitchen. I have made chicken broth. I have made dinner. We had soft tacos, all simple dinners for this week until Thanksgiving. I have done gluten-free bread. And what else did I do? I don't know. I did a lot. I didn't get my workout in like I was trying to do. So now I'm just closing up the house. The kitchen curtains get closed up. All of them get closed up. I vacuum, put away this apron over in my information station, straightening that up. I was supposed to edit that because I got some updates for it, but I didn't get around to it. And we are calling it done for the night, guys. Oh, I do have to refill that Berkey so that I have good water for the next day. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.